Okay, I promised a tutorial. So this is what I built, just something to hold it was measured at 1/2 inch, turned out to be little too big of a gap. So I've used a nail here. Also, the original idea was to use this, as you can see here, was supposed to be vertical, and the tube was going to be cut here, but this 2-inch length turned out to be too short, and rather than try and rebuild the whole thing, I just changed the side where the measurement was approximated, and then I just started cutting using a hacksaw with the teeth pointing toward me. Cutting downward like so was actually a lot faster. Got a round file, use that on the inside to try and deburr some of that with twisting and over-exaggerated ear cleaning motion, I guess you could say, for getting the insides of that. And then for the end of the piece, there we go, using this emery, basically would be something like as you can see, it does kind of deburr the edges, and with enough time and work, this whole thing smooths. So, but I'm not doing a whole thing because it's very noisy and hard to do one-handed. But I'm just giving a demonstration of approximately what was done here, and then I'll show you in a second the result. Okay, so this is the yarn. Yarn B, cotton XXL, or whatever size you prefer, but this was very easy to work with, and it worked excellently. This was discounted for holiday season, but normally I believe it's like $10. Oh, $5.49 for that. The other one, the macrame, was $10. That's it. But anyways, yeah, both of these were, it ended up being like a 2-for-1, $5.49 basically. So, this is 100% cotton. Figured out how to do that without taking the wrapping off of it. So basically what I did was I laid over 3 times of about this length, cut it, tripled it up, cut the ends so that there were 3 lengths of approximately this much. And in this case, what I did was I did a double staple. You can see that. And then braided it all the way up to the top, and then got one more staple on the end just to keep it together. This is the new corrected length. This is about 2.5 inches. It has been, hang on, let me see if I can get a focal point here. There we go. You can see the double staple, no knots tied. Wicking and fire burning do not work through knots. They stop at knots, but braids work just fine. And this looks like it's kind of been braided in its yarn making, but this is very fat too. So anyways, it works great. Makes an excellent wick. Let's see if I can show you here within the range of what the camera can see. Got a little piece of coat hanger that has been bent in an L shape. On this end, there's a little tiny right angle hook that is smaller than the inside of the tube. Take the single staple end, that's the top, stick it into the bottom end of this tube. Oh, forgot the important part. I put the hook through first. So I kind of attach this on here, give it something to, a little tension to pull. Oop. There we go, now I got it through. There we go. You're going to want less than an inch, just under 3/4 or whatever, to that staple is where it's going to burn to. Something like this. before you do this, it's probably best to actually dip it in the oil, but I'm not going to demonstrate that here. But you just fill your little, it's a 4 ounce crystal pattern mason jar. And if you fill it with oil, you dip your entire wick, both ends in oil, all the way out. You just dip it in, and then you add more to the cup. And anyways, then you have this. And as you can see with this improved length, it actually has enough room to not go under the corner of it anywhere. So when it's sitting on the wick full of oil, it'll basically be able to sit roughly straight like this. This is what I'm dealing with. So anyways, and so you light this, and it will stay at that height. It'll burn to about here. This much of it will kind of peel off the little ends and stay burning. And that cup of 4 ounces of cooking oil will burn for 10 to 12 hours. And if you add a little bit of salt in the bottom of it, that pulls any moisture out of the oil and lets the oil burn more efficiently, which means less soot. So thank you. This has been my 3.1 tutorial for the emergency cooking oil lamp.